A nuclear bomb has just exploded in American politics. I'm talking metaphorically, of course. Trump and Elon. There'd been rumours about it for months, weeks and months. Now it's exploded into this horrendous slagging match, this open warfare between these two men. And this is nothing to look on and chuckle about and find funny. This is very serious for the world. It's very serious for freedom. It's very serious for all our causes. And I think, to me, this is a far more dangerous moment in world history than anything we've seen in the last few years, including the invasion of Russia, including 9/11 and so on and so forth. This is serious because what it's going to do is split. It's going to divide people. People are going to take sides and people are going to get entrenched. And why has it happened? Obviously, you've got two very powerful men, two very intelligent men without a shadow of a doubt, but also, dare I say it, two men who are probably quite proud and unwavering in the way they behave towards others. And of course, this could be sorted out. And I want to read a Bible verse that I read this morning. I've never seen it before, but I'm going to read it to you. It's Proverbs 16, verse 24. Pleasant words are like a honeycomb, sweetness to the soul and health to the bones. Pleasant words are like a honeycomb, sweetness to the soul and health to the bones. And I'm going to go into a few sort of principles of how we could probably prevent a lot of conflict in families, in movements, in political parties, in the country, between communities. And that little verse there is one of the verses, one of those little gems in the Bible. When you look at it and you read it, you go, pleasant words are like a honeycomb. Wow. It's a lot easier for people to slag each other off and attack people than to say pleasant things to each other. And I'm not talking about false flattery. I'm talking about just being nice. Now, I don't know what's going to happen between Elon and Trump. Do you know what we should do as believers? If we're believers, we should pray that they reconcile and that they kiss and make up. Metaphorically, of course. That picture is not one that you want to have in your head. They metaphorically kiss and make up. And is it too far for that? Who knows? Who knows? Quite probably. Same with Nigel Farage. I mean, Nigel Farage has insulted Ben Habib and Rupert Lowe grievously. Now, Ben hinted last night on an interview. I think the guys are called Andrew Oborn or Obon or something like that. He intimated on the interview he did last night that if Nigel reached out to him, even now, he would go and meet with Nigel and break bread with him, have a meal, maybe a few glasses of wine, work out their differences and see what they can do to save the country. So I think Ben actually intimated he would do that. And that's what needs to happen in reform. Farage must look at what's happened and realise that he's not in the position he thinks he is. People were saying how good a result it was in Scotland. With the state of the country and the way the Labour Party are behaving and the way the SNP are behaving, reform should have romped that. And if they'd have had the populist right behind them, if they'd have had a real critical mass of people, the people that voted Brexit, the people that voted to stay in for the Union in the Scottish Nationalist vote in 2014, if those people had been properly canvassed and properly, I was going to say radicalised, properly motivated, then reform could well have won. And that should be a lesson to reform. The lesson is not that Zia Youssef left. That's a good thing. That's a great thing. But the lesson should be that Farage does not need to go tack further to the left by bringing people like Nick Candy in as chairman, and there's other people being suggested, leftist or centrist. No, that's not what he needs. He needs someone on the right of politics to come in and do that job. Ben Habib's the perfect candidate, to be honest with you. But that would take a lot of work to get to that stage. But the thing with Trump and Elon, and actually all of us, and every single human being struggles with this in family, in marriage, in our interpersonal relationships, in every area of our lives. I struggle with it massively. Forgiveness. Well, in fact, I'm actually okay at forgiving people. I'm pretty good at that. But I'm certainly really bad at getting angry and saying nasty things to people. And that verse there, pleasant words are honeycomb, sweetness to the soul and health to the bones. The opposite of that is obviously that words that tear down and are negative are like poison to the soul and poison to the bones. And they are. So to me, what needs to happen in every area of life, including politics, there needs to be forgiveness. People need to come together and forgive each other. People need to, dare I say it, it'll sound like an old hippie, people need to love each other. The Bible says God is love. For God so loved the world. So if we want to be Christians, we want to imitate Christ, and we want to have Christ-likeness, then we've got to love people. And that means everybody. That's very, very difficult, because believe you me, there's a lot of people that I've got very good cause not to love, and there's a lot of people who've got very good cause not to love me. But there's no exemptions. The Bible says love your enemies. That other verse in Proverbs, a soft answer turns away wrath. That's one to live by. That's one to live by. Because it's so easy to get dragged into the negativity and the poison and the fighting against each other. If every time somebody comes at you, you got them in the opposite spirit, it's very, very difficult for them to win the argument. And it's not about winning or losing arguments. It's about winning people to Christ and winning the country back and saving the country. And this thing between Musk and Trump, to me, it needs to get sorted out. This thing in reform needs to get sorted out. Because reform, what that by-election showed me yesterday is reform are not ready. If there was a general election tomorrow, I don't think they'd even win it. Genuinely don't. It needs to be a lot broader and a lot deeper. And again, I said this yesterday, Ant Middleton reached out to Tommy Robinson. That was a fantastic gesture. Did that come from the head office of reform? I would say if Zia Yusuf was there, then Ant Middleton would probably be getting sacked this morning. Because that's what Yusuf was like. So hopefully there's been a change there, and hopefully things are going to change in reform, and hopefully there can be some reconciliation between Donald Trump and Elon Musk. But I'm not holding my breath, unfortunately. You know, pride comes before a fall, and the reality is the problem that we've got in world government is not that there's too much Christianity, there's not enough Christianity. The problem in my life is there's not enough Christianity. That's where all my problems have always come from. And I think if we all look in the mirror, we're all exactly the same. We're not doing what we ought to do, and we're not living like we ought to live. I'm not. And of course I want to change it. But they're my thoughts anyway. Elon, Trump, Zia Yusuf, thank goodness he's gone, Nigel Farage, Ben Habib, Rupert Lowe. Go and break bread. Zia Yusuf's gone. He's out of the picture. Go and break bread. Trump, Musk, go and break bread. Have a nice meal. You know, get off somewhere that nobody's going to know. I mean, it's difficult for the President of the United States to do that, but you kind of know what I mean. Find some way of getting Elon and Trump together, because the stakes are massively high in all this. And to have a slagging match on social media, it is not becoming of men in that position. And I don't know who's to blame and who's not to blame. I haven't looked at it. I'm just sickened by it, to be honest with you, because so much potential has been squandered because of two men's egos. Or maybe it's one man's ego. I don't know who's to blame. Maybe it's Elon, maybe it's Musk, maybe it's Trump. I don't know. But either way, these spats, and they happen all the time on the right. It's just this is the biggest one in history. But they shouldn't happen. And it's very, very concerning and very worrying. If it's about ideology and doctrine, they should just part company politely. But obviously, if there's stuff there about Trump that we don't know, well, that does need to come to the light, doesn't it? Anyway, enough said. See you all soon.